this will be episode 4 of the podcast. Today, we're going to be doing an NBA episode. We'll be talking about Carl Anthony Towns and how I think he is an underrated player, my top 3 point guards of all time, the Chicago Bulls' struggle since the All-Star break, what will be Jalen Suggs' potential, and how I feel about his rookie season so far. I'm gonna be saying who I think the best rookie has been so far this season, and that's all. Now, the first topic is Carl Anthony Towns, and I will be talking about how I think he is underrated. So his stats on the season are 24.9 points, so pretty much 25, 9.8 rebounds, so pretty much 10, and 3.4 assists, 1.1 blocks, and 1 steal, and he's shooting 43%, 41% from 3. Um, to me, he is a top 4 center. I don't know if I could say 3 yet because obviously Jokic and Embiid are above him, but honestly not by that much. Embiid, well, no, Jokic is by far the best center, but Embiid, I don't know. And then at 3, it's either between him and Gobert. I don't know. It's because like Karl Anthony Towns is by far the better offensive player than Gobert, but Gobert's way better on the defensive end. I don't know. Honestly, those you can really interchange, but also like Gobert's just a way better rebounder. And Gobert still averages like 14, 15 points, so it's not like he's the worst, but I don't know. He's for sure better than Bam. People still want to say Bam's better, but he's just not. Bam's still just like a 18 points per game, 8 rebounds, and then like he's good on defense, but no. To me, Karl Anthony Towns is better. Um, He's a really good shooter, especially for being a center. I mean, he's one of the best big man shooters of all time. He said that, but now that I think about it, and people we kept saying that. Well, he said he's actually the best big man shooter of all time, but I don't know if I could put him above Dirk yet because people were calling him crazy for saying that. But I mean, he's probably the second best. Who else shoots as good as him for being a big man? Like, really can't think of anyone else. I mean, 41% from three, that's good for a guard, but for a center? I mean, he won the three-point contest, beating people like Trey Young, Zach LaVine, CJ McCollum, and Patty Mills, who are all great three-point shooters. Um, right now, he has the Timberwolves as a seventh seed. They're one game behind the Nuggets for the sixth seed. The Nuggets just won yesterday against the Clippers. I mean, it looks like they're gonna make the playoffs this year. They could easily catch up to the Nuggets and knock them out the playoffs and into the play-in because the Nuggets have been actually struggling lately, and the Timberwolves have been actually really good over like the past 30 games. Um, but yeah, they have a chance of making the playoffs, and I think in the playing game, I could see them winning for sure. I mean, they have a pretty good team. They have Anthony Edwards, who is around an All-Star. D'Angelo Russell, who is like the tier below an All-Star. And Karl Anthony Towns, who is a superstar in my opinion. But yeah, he has them at the playoffs. Um, he also had a 60-point game this this season. Him and Kyrie are the only ones to have 16 points this season. I mean, he is just a really good scorer, and I know people always talk bad about his defense, but now he is actually a good defender. Like he's averaging 1 block per game and a steal. I mean, I know that like defense is always around steals and blocks because I mean LaMelo Ball averages like a steal and a half, and he's a bad defender, but he has definitely improved his defense. And now the Timberwolves are not like a team where it's like, oh, that's an easy win. You actually have to like try against them, and they're still gonna somehow beat you. They're the number one rated offense in terms of points per game this season, and that was a surprising thing because when I was doing like research on this for my notes for the podcast, I actually saw that and I was like, wow, like that was surprising because normally they're just garbage and everything. But yeah, um, I think he's underrated because people still say Bam is better, which I don't think he is. I mean, he's Karl Anthony Towns is one of the best scoring bigs in the NBA and just one of the best scorers in the NBA. Also, I feel like people don't talk about him as much because he's on the Timberwolves. Because like they're just not a popular franchise. Like they're just a boring franchise. Um, and they've never really been that big. And now that they're and now that they have like star players and stuff, they don't get talked about much. Like an example is De'Aaron Fox. Last year, De'Aaron Fox averaged 25.7 assists and didn't get into the All-Star game. 25 points and 7 assists. That's pretty much like top 10 in both of those categories. But just because the Kings are a boring franchise and have just been bad for the past 15 years, people don't talk to him about it as much. Like, also with the Utah Jazz, I feel like Donovan Mitchell doesn't get talked about enough because they're the Jazz. They're not like a popular franchise. Um, unlike like the Warriors, where like they're one of the most popular franchises in the league, and like all these rookies, like Jonathan Kuminga are always talked about because they're on that team. And like like the Lakers are always being talked about because they're popular, even though they're bad. They're always talked about because they're always one of the most popular franchises in the league. But yeah, to me, Karl Anthony Towns is starting to become one of the most underrated players in the league. I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody even realized he was doing this good. But yeah, I think the Timberwolves have a good shot at making the playoffs, and I don't know if they could beat a team. I think they could beat someone like the Mavericks, I'm pretty sure. The next topic will be my top three point guards of all time. Now, people always say, who's number one, Steph Curry or Magic? But to me, it's Steph Curry. It's close, but to me, Steph Curry's just better. His career stats are 24.3 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, 6.5 assists. His accolades are 8-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 1-time steal champ, 3-time NBA champ, 7-time All-NBA, 2-time MVP, 1 All-Star Game MVP, and he is obviously a part of the 75th anniversary team, and he has the most three-pointers made of all time. He passed Ray Allen this season. Um, he's also the first player to get past 3,000 threes in their career. I mean, let's talk about how good Steph Curry is. I mean, you could honestly say he's a top 12, top 11 player of all time. That's where I kind of have him. Top 13, top 12. I don't think he's top 10 yet. He's close. He needs a finals MVP. That's really what he needs. Um, he's the greatest shooter of all time. I mean, that's not even a debate anymore. He's easily the best shooter of all time. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time. I mean, he just averaged 32 points per game while he was 32 last season. Um, he's also was a leader and part of the best regular season team of all time. They went 72 and 9. That's crazy. 9 losses. And in his MVP year, he shot 45% from 3. The year where he made like 400 threes. Like imagine attempting that many threes per game and still shooting at 45%. That's crazy. Like some people don't even shoot that from the field and you're doing it from the three-point line. That's crazy. Even though he's like more of a scoring point guard, he is still like one of the best playmakers in the league. And like nights where he can't score that well or he's off, he can go into the role of a true point guard and play make and facilitate for the team. Um, yeah, but that's what people always talk bad about Curry is that he's more of a scoring point guard and he's not a true point guard. But he can easily turn into a true point guard. I feel like this season that he's not had his best year. We've seen him have higher assist games. We see him play more as a true point guard because when he's scoring at his best, Draymond Green's a playmaker and facilitator of the offense. But Steph Curry could easily do that. It's not that hard for him, and he's still a really smart player. Um, he also is always talked bad about his defense, but it has improved a lot this year. Like now he is a good defender. We saw it at like the start of the season where he had the most blocks he's ever had in a season within like the first 20 games. Like he's been really good on defense this year. He's definitely improved. Um, he was always able to get steals because he's fast and has like good defensive hands. But like I said, steals don't mean you're a good defender or blocks. But you can see it like he's making people pass. People aren't blowing by him as fast as they used to. And I mean, he's just gotten really better at defense. Also, his career is also like not over, so all these accolades and stats are just gonna get added to. And the last thing, he is also the only unanimous MVP ever. Ever. There's never been anybody to do that. Like, you were that good where no one even voted for anyone else. Like, that happened in baseball recently with Otani. I think he was unanimous. But yeah, he's the only unanimous MVP ever. So yeah, to me, I have him one. I have Steph Curry one, but it's really like Magic Johnson. I don't know. And also like Curry's a good rebounder for his height. Like he's 6'3" and he still averages like 6 rebounds per game some seasons. But yeah, I don't know. You could really have him two or one, but I think he's one. Now at number two, this was pretty obvious. I have Magic Johnson. His career stats are 19.5 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, and 11.2 assists. His accolades, he has the highest assist per game career average of all time. The other one is I think John Stockton at 10.6 I think. He's a 12-time All-Star, 4-time assist champ, 2-time steal champ, 5-time NBA champ, 10-time All-NBA, 3-time Finals MVP, a 3-time MVP, a 2-time All-Star Game MVP, and he's of course part of the 75th anniversary team. He's a great defender, and he's arguably the greatest playmaker of all time, if not for sure top three, top two. I mean, you could say LeBron's up there, and obviously John Stockton, but yeah, I mean, he won a Finals MVP as a rookie. I mean, I don't think anybody else has ever done that. Beating out people like Kareem and and James Worthy for the Finals MVP. He's more of like a true point guard than Steph Curry. Like he wasn't the best scorer or shooter. I think in his best season he averaged 23 points per game. I mean, that's still pretty good, but like he's more just of a true point guard. He would rather pass the ball than shoot or score. But yeah, he wasn't the best shooter or scorer definitely, but he's not only one of the best point guards of all time, but he's also just one of the best players of all time. Like just in general. He won back-to-back championships, was also one of the first ever tall point guards in the NBA to play. People like LBJ and Luca and future people, future point guards are like it kind of reflects off of him because he was like the first ever tall point guard. So like they're like because normally when you're that tall, you're thinking of playing like around 6'7", you're probably thinking of playing small forward, power forward. But now, since they saw how successful Magic was, you can be 6'7" and play point guard. I mean, look at Jokic, he's 7 foot and he can play point guard. So yeah, I feel like he had a big impact on the tall guards like Luca, OBJ, people like that. He was also like one of the first ever flashy players. He was flashy with his passes by making like pretty cool passes and stuff like that. I mean, and he's just a really good player. Like 5-time NBA champ, 3-time MVP. That's really good. Yeah. So I have Magic at number two. At number three, this was hard. I have Oscar Robertson. His career stats are 25.7 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists. His accolades are 12-time All-Star, 6-time assist champ, 1-time NBA champ, 11-time All-NBA, three-time All-Star Game MVP, one-time MVP, and of course a part of the 75th anniversary team. He is the only player other than Russell Westbrook to average a triple-double in one season. That's hard to do. That's really hard. And as a rookie, he almost averaged a triple-double. As a rookie, listen to this. People won't even get this in their absolute prime. And as a rookie, he averaged 30 points, 9.7 assists, and 10 rebounds as a rookie. That's crazy. He was also always like an efficient scorer. He's one of the best playmakers of all time. He gave the Milwaukee Bucks their first ever championship. I mean, he could literally do it all. He could score at a high level, he could rebound at a high level, and he could play make at a high level. And also, all these accolades, most of the accolades that are today didn't even exist when he played, so there's probably some accolades that he should have had that didn't exist back then. I don't even think he played when there was a three-point line yet. I don't think so. So, yeah, he could have averaged more points per game or something like that, but yeah. That's why I have at number 3, Oscar Robertson. Now, the next topic, Chicago Bulls struggle since the All-Star break. So ever since the All-Star break, the Chicago Bulls have looked like last year's self and the years before that. They're 4-9 since the All-Star break. They have fallen to 42 and 30. And the team that was at one time the number 1 seed are now the 5th seed in the East. They're close to dropping out of the playoffs and into the play-in. They're 3 and 7 in the last 10 games. Things that just have been going wrong is that they don't have, like, people have just been injured. Lonzo has been out for a month or two now, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna return soon. And Caruso broke his hand, and then he was in protocols, and I don't even know if he's back yet. But these guys, both Lonzo and Caruso, bring elite defense and bring good three-point shooting, especially Lonzo being a 40% three-point shooter. He's a good catch and shoot player, and also like Lonzo being injured takes away that playmaking and facilitating for the Bulls. Um, Now I'm pretty sure DeRozan has the ball most of the time, who is a pretty good playmaker for his position. Not gonna lie, but you need a point guard on your team. Um, Also Zach LaVine could kind of play make, but you need a point guard. Every team needs a point guard, and it's not like Zach LaVine and DeRozan are playing bad since the All-Star break. DeRozan, since the All-Star break, has been averaging 25.6 points per game, which is lower than before the All-Star break, but barely by like 2 points, and that's still really good. 25.6 points per game is good. Um, but what I realized was that they are not a good road team like at all. For the season, they are 16 and 20 on the road, under 500. So, and now they're not even gonna have a home court advantage if they stay at the number 5 seed, and they just need to get back to normal, like how they were, a top 3 seed, because the playoffs are gonna start soon. I think there's like 15, 16 games left in the season, and you can't be playing like this in the playoffs. It's gonna affect you way worse. Yeah, you gotta work on bringing Lonzo back, and you just gotta go back to the mindset of when you guys were the number 1 seed and looked like you guys were gonna make it to the finals and had a chance at winning the championship. But yeah, they need to fix that up before they get into the playoffs, because if you don't make it to the at least the second round, then this whole season was a fail. Because I was gonna say the Eastern Conference Finals is where you should be, but the Nets have been looking good. There's obviously the Heat and stuff like that. But if you don't even make it past the first round and don't at least make it to the second, then this season was a fail. And all the work they put in just no, like DeRozan's playing at an MVP level. This is probably his best season, you could honestly say, ever. I know he averaged 29 points per game in the on the Raptors a couple years ago, but I don't know. This might be his best season. He's really efficient. I mean, he had like 9 games of straight 35 points per game. He broke a Wilt record, and whenever you break one of those, you know you've been doing good. But yeah, they need to get back to their old selves. Now, the next topic. what will be Jalen Suggs' potential and how I feel about his rookie season so far. So, his stats on the season: 12.1 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 36% from field goal range, and 21% from the 3-point line. He has the worst field goal percentage in the NBA. He's bottom 10 in 3-point percentage, and he's throwing 3 turnovers a game to only 4.5 assists. I mean, Jalen Suggs' season so far has been just garbage. Like, I understand you're a rookie, but 39% from the field? Come on. So bad. I know Cade started off like that, but he fixed it. Now he's in like the 40s. But come on. 36 and 21% from 3. Now, this is gonna be a hot take because people, I feel like this affected Jalen Suggs, where the Gonzaga buzzer beater against UCLA and March Madness in the Final Four, I feel like that upped his draft, like, upped his draft level way too high. Like, I feel like that people after that were like, oh my god, we need to get him soon. Which, I mean, let's all be honest, that was a lucky shot. Like, yes, obviously it takes skill, but it was mostly luck. Like, I could, like, okay, let's say I averaged 10 points in college. Not that good. And then I just hit a half court shot. Like, you don't pick me at number 4 now because I just hit a half court shot. Like, anybody can do that. We've seen that multiple times this year. I feel like that upped his draft stock too high. Um, Honestly, like, as it's looking right now, I think he's gonna be a bust. Now, I never, I always want to see someone succeed, so I'm not saying that I hope he's garbage and is not a good player because everyone wants to see someone succeed, but as it's looking right now, it looks like he's gonna be a bust. Like, look at his numbers; those are terrifying. Um, I know it is his rookie year, but he still has some time to improve. But I don't know, dude. This is just bad. Um, People in Toronto said it was a mistake for taking Scotty Barnes. Remember, Jalen Suggs was supposed to go to Toronto, but Toronto picked Scotty Barnes in front of him. But that was actually better because Scotty looks like he is going to be really good. Like, he's been one, the second best rookie this year to me. But yeah, Scotty has looked really good, and now I don't see anybody complaining because it was better to take Scotty instead of Jalen Suggs. Um, at the best, I see Jalen Suggs as a really good role player. I don't see him as an all-star or superstar. Um, I see him averaging like 17 points per game and 6 assists type of guy. I don't think he's ever really gonna be efficient. I think at his best he'll shoot 44% and like 35% from the 3-point line. I mean, he could definitely prove me wrong, but as of now, that's what it's looking like. Uh, so yeah, I just have him as a really good role player. I don't know. The thing that I want him to see him, that I want to see him improve the most is definitely his efficiency. You can't be shooting that bad. You can't. Like, that is so bad. Like, that means like out of 10 shots, you're not even making 4. You're in the NBA. That is so bad. You're only making 3 out of 10 shots? No, I could probably shoot even better than that. From the 3-point line, 21%. Out of 10 shots, you're shooting 20%. You're shooting what? Russell Westbrook is shooting a better 3-point percentage than you this season. That is so bad. I could shoot better from the 3-point line than that. And also, like, he just hasn't affected, like, the Magic at all. They're just still one of the worst teams in the NBA. They even got worse somehow. They're literally the worst team in the NBA. It's not like he helped them get wins or something like that. He's not doing anything there. Um, but yeah, I don't know. So far, it looks like his potential is just gonna be a role player and doesn't look like he's gonna be that good. So the next topic, I'm gonna be staying in the topic of rookies. I'm gonna be saying who I think has been the best so far. Um, so to me, it's Evan Mobley. His stats are 5.2 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.7 blocks, zero point 0.8 steals. He's been by far the best defensive rookie, no, without a doubt. I mean, no one else really has anything on him, but he's top 8 in the defensive player of the year ladder. I mean, you could honestly say he's top 5. Like he's been really good defensively this year. He's definitely a candidate for defensive player of the year. He's been good on offense, but that's just really like not his game. Like he's more of a defensive player. I think we can all realize that, but he's still been really good. 15.2 points per game. That's really good. I think he's like top 2 in rookie points or top 3. I think Cade and Scotty are above him, and that's it. But he's been a solid rebounder, 8.3 rebounds per game. I mean, he is a power forward, so he's not gonna be getting as many as a center, but that's pretty good. But to me, the most important thing that I've noticed about Evan Mobley is that ever since he joined the Cavs, they are now a playoff team or a play-in team. No other rookie has impacted their team like that. The Pistons are still one of the worst teams in the league. With K, they're a bottom two worst team. You could honestly change that between them and the Magic. Toronto is around the playing team with Scotty still. I mean, that hasn't really changed. The Magic are the worst team in the NBA with Jalen Suggs, and the OKC Thunder is still garbage with Josh Giddey. But yeah, I think he should be Rookie of the Year. Evan Mobley brought the Cavs to what we thought was gonna be a really bad team to a good team. They started off really good. Now they're kind of slowing down because they lost uh, Jared Allen, but they're still hanging around in that spot. They could definitely beat a team in the play-in if they drop to there. But yeah, and the craziest part is that I predicted Evan Mobley and also Scotty Barnes to be this good because on draft day, I remember they picked Jalen Green at number 2. Oh yeah, and also Jalen Green is just not been good either. Uh, when they picked Jalen Green, I remember I told my dad I was like, um, they should have picked Evan Mobley. I knew it. I knew it. And or Scotty because I always knew Evan Mobley was gonna be good. I literally predicted on that day. I told my dad, I was like, he's gonna be the rookie of the year, and Cade's not gonna be, or Scotty. And I was more lenient on Evan Mobley. He's by far my favorite rookie of the class for sure. But yeah, I predicted that, and this is like the first time I ever predict something like that because it's either Scotty who Evan Mobley who is gonna win Rookie of the Year, and those are the highest rookies I was on. And I said they were gonna win Rookie of the Year, one of them. But yeah, I've never predicted something like that where it actually ends up being this good. And also, right now I'm calling it. Evan Mobley will be a defensive player someday. Come back to this once he wins it. I know he will. Almost 2 blocks in your rookie season. I mean, that's more than most defensive players get. Like, right now, I think he's top 5 in blocks per game. I know the leader is Rudy Gobert right now with like 2.2. He's close to there. So yeah, I think he'll be a defensive player of the year. Um, so that'll be all for this episode. The next one will be an NFL episode. Tyreek Hill just got traded to the Dolphins. That's crazy. I woke up and just saw that. I was like, wow. That was the least thing I would ever expect, but yeah. Finally, the fun fact for today is Kobe Bryant had more 50-point games in a week than Dwayne Wade ever had in his entire career. That's crazy. We all know Kobe is one of the best scorers of all time, but 50-point games in 1 week, Dwayne Wade didn't even do that in his whole career. That's crazy, but yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe.